People used to fly past San Marcos and Oceanside without giving a second glance. Well, what if I told you they're two of the fastest growing spots in San Diego? We're talking billions in new development, thousands of homes, and real estate that's heating up quickly. While the rest of the county struggles with housing, these neighborhoods are booming in 2025. So is this your last shot at getting in before prices really explode? Let's find out. Okay, so let's talk about these two neighboring cities. We've got two different paths, but one common outcome. Explosive growth that's defying the rest of the San Diego market. San Marcos has this amazing story of transformation. The locals used to call it a drive-through city, literally something you pass through on your way to somewhere else. Now, it's becoming a drive-to destination with people actually planning trips there. The change has been super dramatic over the last few years, and I'm excited to talk about it. Then you've got Oceanside, which has evolved from basically just being a weekend retreat and military town into this diverse coastal city with a thriving tourism scene and some really cool development on the way. But now let's head inland first and check out what's happening in San Marcos. But first, my name is Bern McGovern with the Alt 56 Home Team here in San Diego, and I've been helping people navigate the real estate market for over 11 years. And hey, if you're still watching, you're probably enjoying the content and want to learn more, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. All right, San Marcos has one of the most strategic positions in all of North County, and developers have finally realized its potential. I've been watching this area for years, and the location advantages are just too good to ignore any longer. Here's what makes the location so special. San Marcos sits right in the heart of North County, giving residents super easy access to major employment centers in all directions. You're positioned near both Interstate 15 and the 78, which means you can go east, west, north, south without any hassle, although you do have a little bit of traffic on the 78. Not gonna lie about that. This central position gives you flexibility for commuting to job centers in San Diego, Carlsbad, and Escondido. Pretty much anywhere in the county is accessible. Now let me give you some numbers to work with. As of 2025, San Marcos has a population of about 93,000 residents with an average household income of $105,000. That's a pretty solid income level that shows the kind of spending power this community has. The city is really demographically balanced with a median age of 36 years old. That makes it attractive to both families and professionals. And get this, I actually drove through San Marcos last week, and the amount of construction happening is just incredible. The position of the city, located between the hills with these gorgeous views, but also still accessible, it's a unique combination that's finally getting the attention it deserves. But now let's look at what they're actually building here in San Marcos. San Marcos isn't just building houses, it's creating a complete urban experience where none existed before, and this is where things get really interesting. The biggest game changer is definitely the North City project. I've talked about this a lot in previous videos. This is massive. We're talking nearly 200 acres that will include 3,400 residential units, 250 hotel rooms, 1.1 million square feet of office space, and 345,000 square feet of retail. What's super cool about North City is that it's being positioned as both the city's new downtown area and as Cal State San Marcos University Village. So it has this dual identity that serves both the broader community and the educational institution. They recently celebrated topping off of the $345 million 222 North City project, which will bring 460 residential units and premium retail space, showing how quickly things are progressing. And speaking of education, this is a huge part of what makes San Marcos so special. You've got Cal State San Marcos and Palomar College right there. These aren't just places to get degrees. They're major economic engines driving demand for housing, retail, and services. For example, Cal State San Marcos generates more than $780 million in annual economic activity, and Palomar College has a $1 billion economic impact on the region. You can really feel how these universities are shaping the city's identity. Now, the infrastructure improvements are being integrated with all these new developments to support the growing population. For example, in areas like the Hill District, they're adding trail systems for biking and hiking, parks throughout the community, pools, and a future clubhouse, as well as a 16-acre public park. This is the kind of thoughtful development that creates not just houses, but actual communities where people want to live. And what I really love is how walkable they're making everything. The new communities are designed so you can easily get to retail, grocery, and restaurants without ever getting into your car. And if you lived in San Diego for a while, you know how rare it is to find a walkable neighborhood, especially in the suburbs. Most of us are used to driving everywhere. But San Marcos is hoping to change that, and I sure hope they succeed. Now let's talk about what this means for the real estate opportunities. San Marcos offers what's becoming increasingly rare in San Diego: new construction at prices that still make sense for many home buyers, especially first-time home buyers. This is where I get really excited because I'm seeing real opportunity here. Let me tell you about the Hill District, the most anticipated residential development in the county right now. This is part of the North City Master Plan I mentioned earlier, and it features a variety of housing options to fit different needs and budgets. First up is Revel. These are two-story attached townhomes ranging from about 1,300 square feet to 1,650 square feet, and they start at $728,000. And then there's Amplitude, which provides three-story attached townhomes ranging from about 1,500 square feet to 1,900 square feet, priced from $777,000. And for those wanting a bit more space, there's Peak 59. These are 3-story single-family attached condominiums ranging from 1,800 square feet to about 2,300 square feet, and they start just over $1 million. All these homes include 2-car garages and smart home features, which is a big plus for today's tech-savvy homebuyer. But what's really telling is that San Marcos home values have increased approximately 35 to 40% over the past 5 years, and that's some serious appreciation and shows the investment potential here. The trend suggests property values should continue to rise as new developments are completed and amenities expand. Now, I know what you're thinking, Bern, those prices aren't exactly cheap, and you're right, but let's put that into perspective here in San Diego. If you're looking at similar properties in coastal communities like Carlsbad or Encinitas, you're going to be paying way more for comparable space and amenities. So while San Marcos isn't the budget option it once was, it still represents solid value in the context of San Diego County. I was showing properties to a client last week who was initially fixated on Carlsbad, but when they saw what they could get in San Marcos for the same price, newer construction, more space, and better amenities, they completely shifted their search. And that's happening more and more these days. So San Marcos is a great example of smart suburban growth, thoughtfully planned, full of amenities, and focused on education. The city's general plan guides long-term development and is currently being updated, especially around the creek-specific plan area, showing their commitment to evolving with the community. And you know what else is impressive? San Marcos has over 60 specific plans covering about 3,600 acres, nearly a quarter of the city. That level of detailed planning is rare and helps ensure balanced neighborhood-specific development across everything from San Alejo Hills to more rural areas in the north. San Marcos is actively shaping its identity, not reinventing, but building with intention. The focus is on modern living, great schools, walkable neighborhoods, and of course those views. I know a lot of people will complain about the traffic on the 78, and more people will likely bring more cars to the area, but the hope is with better planning and more walkable communities, it may not make traffic better, but it likely won't make it worse. But now let's head west to the coast where Oceanside is undergoing its own remarkable transformation. Oceanside combines what many thought impossible: coastal access, relatively affordable housing, and strong transportation connections, and that unique combination is driving a lot of the growth we're seeing today. Location-wise, Oceanside is perfectly situated along the 5 and the 78 freeway, giving residents excellent transportation access no matter where they're headed. But what really makes Oceanside special is its transit center serving both Amtrak and the Coaster commuter train. This provides rail connections to downtown San Diego and Los Angeles, which is a huge advantage for commuters who want to avoid traffic like myself. I took the Coaster from Oceanside to downtown San Diego last month, and I was sitting there watching the ocean views thinking, why don't more people take the train here in San Diego? With approximately 170,000 residents, Oceanside is a huge city in its own right. It's diverse and has this amazing waterfront access that you just can't replicate. The city stretches from the coast inland, giving it varied topography and neighborhood styles. And what's really interesting is how Oceanside has evolved over time. It started as this sleepy beach town and military community because of Camp Pendleton close by, but now it's leveraging that coastal location and accessibility, something much more dynamic. I was talking to a client who works in Carlsbad but loves surfing, and Oceanside gives him that perfect combination: an easy commute to work plus beach access at a much more reasonable price. That kind of lifestyle is becoming much more important to buyers, and Oceanside delivers it beautifully. Let's move on and dive into the amenities and development that are making Oceanside such a standout here in 2025. Now, let me tell you, Oceanside is no longer just Camp Pendleton's neighbor. It's becoming a cultural and culinary destination in its own right, and the development happening here is super exciting. The city is now attracting millions of visitors annually with its iconic pier, Cape Cod-style harbor village, and expanding culinary scene. I'm actually currently selling a condo on the harbor overlooking the ocean for $875,000. There aren't too many places in San Diego County where you can buy an oceanfront for under $900,000 these days. Other recent developments including renovations to the Oceanside Pier, including plans to completely rebuild the bridge connecting the pier to the street and the lifeguard headquarters by 2027. And one of my favorite projects is the adaptive reuse of the historic properties. The Top Gun house, yes, the actual house from the movie, has been transformed into the amazing dessert restaurant. My kids are big fans of this one, and it shows how creative Oceanside is with preservation. Not to mention, I'm a huge Top Gun fan. They're also developing unique attractions like Sound by the Sea, which is this super cool listening bar offering an immersive audio experience alongside seasonal foods. This kind of unique approach to entertainment and dining is putting Oceanside on the map in ways nobody expected just 5 years ago. But Oceanside isn't just focused on tourism. The city is in the process of a comprehensive general plan update, demonstrating their commitment to thoughtful, forward-thinking development. A big part of their planning efforts is the Smart and Sustainable Corridor Specific Plan, which outlines ways to help revitalize key commercial corridors within the city. The plan focuses specifically on Mission Avenue, Ocean Boulevard, and Vista Way, aiming to transform these areas into vibrant, accessible, and sustainable spaces. I drove down Mission Ave recently, and you can already see the transformation happening. New businesses opening, improved streetscapes. It's really coming together nicely, I think. And get this, complementing these efforts is an update to the city's Action Climate Plan, which provides a comprehensive framework for addressing greenhouse gas emissions throughout the city. This shows Oceanside's commitment to environmental sustainability alongside economic economic growth. Plus, the city also benefits from proximity to Miracosta College and Camp Pendleton Marine Base, which is a major employer in the region. But what I find really impressive about Oceanside's development approach is how they're balancing preservation and innovation. They're not just trying to erase the city's history as a military town and service spot, they're building on that foundation to create something more diverse and dynamic, which is super cool in my opinion. All right, now let's dive into the real estate numbers. I know you've been waiting for this part. Oceanside is pioneering a different approach to community building, one that blends agriculture, sustainability, and modern housing. And one of the best examples of this is North River Farms. This project has evolved through the community input and planning refinements, which I think makes it stronger. Recent modifications include a reduction in the maximum home count from 656 to 585 homes, and an increase in the project acreage from 176 to 214 acres. They're also dedicating land for a permanent fire station and preserving an additional 37 acres for open space. The project includes these distinct planning areas, each with its own character. There's a riverside village in the southwestern corner of the project site, offering a mix of single-family detached and cluster homes, a proposed park, and agriculture. Then there's Village Core, a 15-acre mixed-use area featuring 30,000 square feet of commercial space. That could include a boutique hotel, maker spaces, retail shops, and a farmer's market. North Village is a 47-acre area north of North River Road with approximately 209 residential units, and Hilltop Village is located north of North Village, allowing for development of approximately 100 single-family residential units on top of 36 acres. I actually got to tour this site last month, and what's super interesting is how they're integrating agriculture into the community design, just like the popular Fox Point Farm in Encinitas. This is almost like a modern interpretation of farm-to-table living. Now, when it comes to the broader Oceanside market, prices have been on the rise, but the city still offers relative value compared to areas further south along the coast. As of April 2025, the median home price in Oceanside is about $907,000, up 3.1% from last year, and you'll find plenty of listings in that $800,000 to $900,000 price range for single-family homes. That's a big reason why Oceanside continues to attract so much interest. You're getting coastal access and all these new amenities, but at price points that still make sense for many home buyers, especially when you compare it to Carlsbad or Encinitas. Plus, the city's ongoing redevelopment efforts and improved amenities are driving property appreciation while still maintaining relatively better affordability. And let me tell you, I was working with a family relocating from Los Angeles last week, and they were shocked at how much more house they could get in Oceanside compared to what they were looking at in Los Angeles. The value proposition is still strong here, especially when you factor in the lifestyle benefits of living near the coast. But that's what makes Oceanside such an interesting opportunity right now. You're getting that rare combination of coastal access, new amenities, and home prices that, while rising, are still within reach for many buyers in Southern California in 2025. Oceanside is a great example of coastal revitalization done right, honoring its roots while embracing smart, modern growth. It's evolving from a military and beach town into a more diverse city with thriving food, culture, and retail scenes, all without losing its laid-back vibe. Oceanside is doing a great job blending the old with the new. You've got historic spots like the Top Gun House still standing strong, while the city's also pushing ahead with sustainable, community-driven projects. And with neighborhoods ranging from the beach and harbor to downtown and new spots like North River Farms, there's really something for everyone here, no matter what your lifestyle or budget is. The challenge now is growing without losing that authentic character, but so far they're pulling it off, at least for most people. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree. Oceanside is quickly becoming one of the most exciting places in San Diego County, and there's still plenty of opportunity ahead. Okay, now that we've explored these two remarkable communities individually, let's compare their strengths and challenges. So which neighborhood is right for you, San Marcos or Oceanside? Let's break it down. San Marcos has a strong education scene with Cal State San Marcos and Palomar College, plus well-planned communities that are great for families. You'll find newer homes at better prices and plenty of parks and amenities. The trade-off, no beach access, a still developing downtown, and a less historic charm than older areas. Oceanside, on the other hand, gives you that coastal lifestyle, beach days, harbor weekends, and great rail access. It's more established with historic character and growing food and culture scenes. Downsides include higher home prices, some uneven development, and more tourist traffic during peak seasons. Both cities face growth challenges like traffic and water use, but they also offer good value, strong job markets, and great locations. Bottom line, if the beach is a must, go with Oceanside. If schools, newer homes, and a family-friendly setup matter more, San Marcos could be the better fit. All right, as we wrap up, choosing between these two isn't easy, even with all the pros and cons laid out, but here's the big takeaway. Both San Marcos and Oceanside are doing something right. They're meeting the housing needs of a growing San Diego population while building distinct, well-planned neighborhoods with strong amenities and a real sense of identity. That's exactly why they're thriving while some other areas aren't seeing the same momentum. Thinking about making a move to San Marcos or maybe Oceanside? Not quite sure yet? No problem. I've got plenty more to show you across the San Diego suburbs, and I'm here to help you find the right fit. Just send me an email at bern@off56.com. My contact info is in the description below. And before you go, if you want more insider tips on these neighborhoods, real estate trends, and upcoming developments, check out the next video linked on your screen. You might just fall in love with San Diego just like like I did. See you next time.